My name is Emily. And if you asked me a year ago what love felt like, I would have smiled and said, it feels like home. Now, I'm not so sure. When I first met Jake, it was at a small coffee shop near my college. He spilled his drink on my notebook and spent the next 10 minutes apologizing like he had just ruined my entire life. I remember laughing so hard that day, not because it was funny, but because of how real he felt. Let me buy you another coffee, he insisted. You don't have to, I said. I want to, he smiled. It's the least I can do after destroying your notes. That was Jake, clumsy, sweet, and full of light. We started talking more after that. Late night calls, long walks, dreams about the future. He wanted to start his own business someday. He had plans, ideas, ambition. I don't want a normal life, he told me once. I want something bigger. And I believe him. I believed in him. We got married 2 years later. It wasn't a big wedding, just a small ceremony with close friends and family. I remember standing there in my white dress, looking into his eyes, thinking, this is it. This is the man I'll grow old with. And for a while, everything felt perfect. We laughed. We cooked together. We stayed up late watching movies, talking about life. Even when things weren't easy, we faced them together. But slowly, something started to change. It didn't happen all at once. At first, Jake just seemed tired. I'll look for jobs tomorrow, he would say. I just need a little break. Things will work out. I didn't question it. Life can be hard sometimes. People need time. So I gave him time. But time kept passing. And nothing changed. I got a full-time job to support us. It wasn't my dream job, but it paid the bills. I told myself it was temporary. Jake stayed home. At first, he said he was planning, thinking, figuring things out. But days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and planning turned into nothing. Every morning, I woke up before sunrise. I'd get dressed quietly, trying not to wake him. I'd look at him sleeping peacefully, and for a moment, I'd feel something soft in my chest. He just needs time, I'd tell myself. But every evening when I came home, the house would be the same. Dishes untouched, clothes scattered. Jake on the couch. Hey, I'd say, trying to smile. Hey. He'd reply, eyes still on his phone. How was your day? Same. Same. That word started to feel heavy. One night, I came home completely exhausted. My feet hurt. My head was pounding. I had worked a double shift because we were behind on rent. The lights were off. The TV was on. Jake was asleep on the couch. The sink was full of dirty dishes. Trash was overflowing. The air felt heavy. I stood there for a long moment. Something inside me cracked. Jake, I said, shaking him gently. He opened his eyes slowly. What? Can you help me? My voice was tired, almost breaking. Just something, anything. He sat up, rubbing his face. Emily, I'm tired. I stared at him. Tired? I whispered. Yes, he said, frustrated. Why are you making this a big deal? A big deal. I laughed, but it wasn't a happy laugh. I worked 12 hours today. I said, I'm paying for everything. I come home to this and you're tired? He didn't answer. That night, we didn't talk. And something between us changed forever. Days became quiet. We stopped laughing, stopped sharing, stopped being us. I tried to talk to him again. Jake, what's going on? I asked one evening. He sat there, staring at the floor. I don't know, he said quietly. You don't know? I repeated. I feel stuck, he admitted. Every time I think about doing something, I just feel like I'll fail. His voice was soft, almost broken. I don't feel like the person I used to be. For a moment, my anger disappeared. I saw him differently, not as a lazy man, but as someone lost, someone scared, someone who had given up on himself. But understanding him didn't fix our life, because while he was lost in his fear, I was carrying everything alone. Months passed. Nothing changed. I kept working. He kept waiting. Waiting for motivation. Waiting for courage. Waiting for a right moment that never came. And slowly, I started losing myself too. I stopped smiling as much. Stopped calling friends. Stopped dreaming. My world became work. And a home that didn't feel like home anymore. One night, I sat on the bathroom floor and cried silently. I didn't want him to hear me, because I knew he wouldn't know what to do anyway. I still loved him. That was the hardest part. I loved him, but I was tired. Tired of hoping. Tired of waiting. Tired of feeling alone. In a marriage, one morning before the sun rose, I woke up early like always. I looked at Jake sleeping beside me. He looked peaceful, like nothing was wrong, like he wasn't slowly losing everything we built. I reached out and touched his hand gently. I love you, I whispered, my eyes filled with tears. But I can't do this anymore. He didn't wake up, and maybe that made it easier. I packed my things quietly. Every item I touched held a memory. The life we dreamed of, the love we once had, the future that never came. When I walked out the door, I didn't look back, because I knew if I did, I might stay. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. I started rebuilding my life. It wasn't easy, but it was peaceful. Then one day, I saw him again. By accident. He looked thinner, tired, different, but his eyes, they were awake. Emily, he said softly. My heart stopped for a second. Hi, Jake. There was silence. The kind of silence filled with everything we never said. I messed up, he admitted. I didn't respond. I thought you'd always be there, he continued. I thought I had more time. His voice broke. But losing you woke me up. I looked at him. Really looked at him. This was the man I loved. The man I waited for. The man I left. I'm trying now, he said. I got a job. It's not much, but it's a start. I nodded slowly. I'm glad, I said, and I meant it. Can we try again, he asked. That question, it stayed in the air between us. Heavy, painful, real. I took a deep breath. I wanted that for so long, I said quietly. His eyes filled with hope. But I can't forget everything, I continued. I can't go back to who I was. His hope faded. I still care about you, I said. I always will. Tears rolled down his face. But sometimes, I whispered, love isn't enough to fix what's already broken. We stood there for a moment. Two people who once meant everything to each other. Now, just memories. And then, I walked away. Again. This time, not because I was tired, but because I finally chose myself. And somewhere behind me was a man who learned too late. That love needs effort. That tomorrow doesn't last forever. And that sometimes the person you think will always stay is the one you lose forever. Thank you for watching. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and comment your thoughts below. And subscribe for more emotional stories like this.